So this talk is about Tao, space-time, and creation of the universe. So I'm going to share with you our research about how the universe is created and a deeper understanding of space and time, how this deeper understanding of space-time about the universe is created from the emptiness. Tao is the creator and the source according to Chinese ancient philosophy. And the Tao is emptiness. So this talk, I'm going to show you mathematically how our universe is created from the emptiness through the interaction of space and time. And this has a great impact on the role of our consciousness plays in our lives. So this work is based on a bigger work we have. Actually, we just finished a book called Tao Science. And this Tao Science, the creator, is my spiritual teacher and father, Dr. and Master Zhi Gang Sha. And so I want to give my greatest gratitude to him for his blessing and his guidance that has led me to make some progress in this field. And so my background is I graduated from UC Berkeley, and in physics department, I got my PhD in string theory and also Grand Unification Theory. Grand Unification Theory is to use one mathematical formula to explain everyone and everything. And so string theory is one of the very promising candidates for Grand Unification Theory. So Tao Science. So what is Tao Science? So just give you some characteristic what we have done in the Tao Science. This book will be coming out in October. So any of you want it, come to talk with me, give me your email. I'll be happy to send you a copy. So Tao Science uses the mathematic framework developed in quantum physics to express the Tao wisdom. And so this science provides a simple metaphysical understanding about quantum physics. It is also can derive string theory, dark matter, dark energy, inflation, and also wave function of the universe. And it integrates natural science with spirituality at the very fundamental level. So let me give you a little overview of the Tao Science. The first law is the law of Shen Qi Jing, and the law of grand unification, the law of karma, and the law of yin-yang creation. And so law of Shen Qi Jing is basically says that, so in Chinese, Shen is the basic, Shen means magical, miracle, God, creator. So in our theory, Shen basically includes three aspects: soul, heart. Heart here is like a spiritual heart. Soul is basically a spirit. And the mind is a consciousness. And the qi is the energy, and the jing is the matter. So qi, physics, from physics we know it is the ability to do work. And the jing here we just mean, the matter means all the physical realities we observe. So everything we observe, everything we see, we feel is matter, is a physical. So, so in Tao Science we give Shen we define the Shen as the information. And then, so what is the information is the possibilities and the potentialities. So information has three aspects. One is the content of the information, and the receiver of the information, and also process of information. So we define the soul, the spirit is the content of information, and heart, spiritual heart, the receiver of information, the mind is the process of information. And then the manifestation process is that as the soul gives the information to the heart receives the information and activate the mind, and the mind processes the information and direct where the energy goes, and energy moves the matter. The matter is everything we observe and we experience. So although everything we observe is physical reality, however, the physical reality is determined by the soul, according to this theory. And also, Tao Science provides a very simple interpretation about quantum physics. So in the quantum physics, we said there's the fundamental reality have many possibilities. It's described the wave function. So why is that? So according to Tao Science, the reason is our world fundamentally is made of information, energy, and matter. So information itself is possibilities and potentialities. So that is why our world is made of, the quantum physics is fundamentally probabilistic. So from Tao Science, it's very easy to understand quantum physics. And the reason, quantum physics is subjective because our reality is determined by our heart and soul. Our heart has to receive the information, and our mind has to process the information, and then manifest the physical reality. So that is why the quantum physics is, the fundamental physics theory is subjective. And so Grand Unification, I will not get into too much because the time is so basically this law is about when our soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter are all in alignment, then we reach the highest spiritual state, which is ultimate freedom, enlightenment, and immortality. And so Tao Science is help people to reach enlightenment, gain superpowers and super abilities, and reach enlightenment. So this is actually very practical, this science. So the next law is law of karma. So the karma law, all of this law, we can mathematically describe it and explain it using quantum physics. So it's all mathematical. Actually, in my recent paper, I will be happy to email you. We show you how you can calculate soul, calculate your heart, and calculate the mind. It's all mathematically calculatable. So the law of karma, we can scientifically explain it. So basically, law of karma, addresses why, I am the way I am, or why I feel this way, and what determines how my past action and how action of my ancestors in the past determines my present moment, status of my present moment, and how my present action determines my future. So this is, somebody was talking about the free will. So according to Tao Science, karma and free will coexists. That we have both. We can talk more if you have more questions, yes. And so today we're going to really the focus is on the law of yin-yang. So how everything is created and what is the origin of everything. So that is what law of yin-yang is addressed. According to the law of yin-yang, yin-yang, everything comes from the emptiness, which is a Tao. Tao, let me show how to. So Tao is the source and creator of everything, which is emptiness. And so the yin-yang interaction manifests things from this emptiness. And so the yin-yang, what is Tao? So yin-yang are opposite, relative, co-created, inseparable, interchangeable elements. And everyone and everything is divided into yin-yang elements. So I'm going to show you, what is the physics of the Tao, the emptiness. And so from the quantum physics, you can actually calculate the wave function of the emptiness. And what you do that, you realize the wave function of the emptiness is infinite. This is one of the biggest problems in quantum physics. But this is also, from the Tao Science point of view, it really shows the Tao, which is the origin and source of a creator, basically contains infinite information, energy, and matter. So how everything is manifested from the Tao, the creator, it is through the yin-yang. So what is yin-yang? Yin-yang is basically the two opposite elements existing in everyone and everything. So usually in Chinese philosophy, yin corresponds to passive, dark, contracting, feminine, and down elements, and yang usually active, light, expanding, masculine, and up elements. So the relationship between yin-yang is that they're opposite, but they're relative, right? And they're co-created. They're inseparable, they are codependent, and also interaction of yin-yang is a cause of all change. This is actually the basic Tao of wisdom that existing since the ancient time in China. So in the ancient, the basic philosophy in ancient China is Tao creates one, and the one creates two, two creates three, and three creates everything. So basically, our interpretation of this is, so Tao is, is the emptiness, which is actually beyond words. We cannot even think about it. We cannot even describe about it. Yes, many people knows about this. And so Tao creates this one, one state. And this state, if there's yin-yang comes out, and that is two. And the two plus this yin-yang plus this, this one state, together they create everything and everyone. So this is a fundamental, ancient philosophy. So how I can use this philosophy? So now I'm going to mathematically formulate this wisdom, and I'm going to show you mathematically how the universe is created mathematically. So to do that, first we need to understand what is really space and time. So space and time, many people have many ideas. I'm just show you a few. So from Isaac Newton said there's absolute space-time. That's not depends on who is observing it, whether there's matter or not. That is, and then Leibniz said, space-time does not exist. It's basically a framework we use to organize things. So there's another, Kant, he set up this theory of knowledge, and he realized space and time is not really objective feature. It is our subjective consciousness, which we use to organize things. And Albert Einstein, he finds space-time are relative. So space can transform into time, and time can transform into space, and they actually together form as one thing. And so quantum physics has even more interesting, understanding about quantum space-time. So quantum physics shows us space and time, they are really, they have uncertain principle. It basically means that to measure time, you need energy. And to measure space, you need momentum. And so you cannot, it's how accurate you can measure the time, how accurate you can measure space, depends on how your energy and momentum. So what is, so in Tao Science, we have, we propose space and time is one of the yin-yang pairs that which interaction creates our universe. So it is, you can think about, it is a yin-yang code that creates our universe. So time is a measurement of the movement and the change that corresponds to yang. And the space is a measurement of the stillness and the solidity. It corresponds to yin. So our understanding of quantum physics is that our observation is manifested through the measurement.
Yes.
Yes. And so we propose that these two fundamental measurements manifest our universe from the emptiness. One is space and time measurement. Space-time is a yin-yang pair. We actually derive it, in one of my papers, I even derived it mathematically, how by combining quantum physics and general relativity, I come up with the uncertainty relationship between space and time, and really show they are actually a yin-yang pair. It's quite amazing. So that work is published. And then another fundamental measurement that creates the universe is the exclusion and the inclusion measurement. So we propose that all the measurement is a combination of these two measurements. So they are the two fundamental measurements. That's why they manifest our whole universe. So I'm going to show you mathematically. So
I'm sorry, what was exclusion, inclusion? What did that mean?
Basically means that, when you make a measurement, right, you either include something or exclude something, right? That is one of the fundamental action we always do. I either take you as my friend or, yeah. So, so basically, all this, the pairs is yin-yang. There are two yin-yang pairs. There are 4 elements. Is recorded like this, and so then to write down the mathematics how how the universe is created. But the first thing you need to do is to write down the action. So action in physics is well-defined dynamics. It's based on the path you take, and you can write down its action. So the simplest action you can write down actually is very simple. Space-time according to our law, the interaction of the yin-yang pair creates the universe. So you just actually put space and time together, multiply them, and that's the simplest action you can get. And what is very interesting is that action is a string action. So because my PhD is on string theory, so it's very interesting that just by doing that, I got string theory. Yeah, space-time, I just put space as a number and time as a number. I put them together, and that is, I got string theory. It's really simple, actually. It's almost like too simple, because string theory, physicists, it takes many years, they got it, they still don't understand it. And, but I derived it like so simply. I was like astounded. And then if I put in the inclusive and the inclusive into it, and then I got M theory. So that is like amazing. So that basically means I got the action that can create all the fundamental particles, all the forces.
You get the heterotic string theory?
What?
You get which string theory, the heterotic?
Heterotic? No, it can supersymmetry, superstring. But you can also, by changing, a heterotic string is basically a combination of the normal string theory and with M theory. So heterotic theory, And so by combining them together, you get a heterotic.
So you have E8 cos E8?
Yes. So you can do all of that with this, yeah.
But you show this in your paper?
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you wind up?
Yes, very quickly. Mm-hmm. So we can actually write down, so in Tao Science, we actually can write down the wave function of the universe. So I put down, I derived the action of the universe, and then I can write down the wave function of the universe. And from this wave function of the universe, and I can calculate the, all the matters, including the dark matter and dark energy, everything. And so we actually can demonstrate estimate the dark energy of the universe, and it actually agrees with the experimental data, and also dark matter. So it's very fascinating, very, very fascinating. We also shows that our universe is a projection from a hologram, because the string is a hologram. And our observable universe is basically a projection from the hologram, which is very beautiful, because here it's really, you show mathematically with all the, because this has been projected, or people know this is the truth, but they don't know how to express it. But we actually have the mathematical formula shows this. And also we show the universe is a multiverse, and also shows that the observed space-time is made of many cycles. And this cycle appears as a time reincarnation. We also shows that the inflation of the universe and the accelerated expansion of the universe. So all of this has been has a published work in some journals, in the Journal of Astrophysics and Aerospace. And so the conclusion we can come up with is that really our consciousness manifests our universe from the emptiness. Our consciousness of space and time, and also exclusion and inclusion. And one more thing. And So the space-time is basically a duality and the yin-yang action, which our consciousness was involved in. And so this also what is really, to me, was very fascinating, these results, is that it really shows the mathematically Buddha's wisdom. So Buddha basically, when he reached enlightenment, he realized our action of discrimination and attachments creates all the illusion, which is basically this universe we're looking at. And so to reach final enlightenment is to remove all discrimination and attachments. And so it was, because when I was doing this work in my spiritual journey, Buddha helps me a lot. He comes to me a lot and really helped me to actually set up this, this Tao Science. So I'm just very grateful to really, I want to show my greatest gratitude to Buddha, and also I'm very, just very happy our research can demonstrate his wisdom. So thank you so much for your coming to my work.